All right, everyone, let's get started. Well, welcome to today's webinar. It is Grow Your First Time Homebuyer Business. I am Tracy Shell with Downpayment Resource. And here's a little bit about what we are going to cover today. We're going to give you an overview of today's down payment assistance programs and the impact it can make for your buyers. We are also going to highlight the first-time homebuyer market opportunity, what buyers are looking for. We are also going to get into how to educate your buyers about down payment help and how to use our tool, which is called Down Payment Connect, how you can use that in your own marketing. And then we're also going to get into some real marketing examples from other agents across the country so you can see how they are also communicating about down payment assistance. Okay, so first a little bit about who we are. Down Payment Resource was launched in 2008 to solve a problem that drove a lot of people in the real estate and mortgage lending industry crazy. There was no real easy way to find and track programs. So DPR was developed an easier way for you to connect eligible borrowers with hard to find resources. Those include down payment assistance programs, grants, mortgage credit certificates, and other types of down payment assistance. So in short, we're like Match.com for down payment assistance. And we are really here to help you connect home buyers to the down payment help they need. So here is an overview on the types of homeownership programs we track. This is a snapshot from one of our latest homeownership program indexes. This is a report that we do a couple times a year. So this as you can see, the majority of the programs that we track are down payment and closing cost assistance. Of course, there's lots of variation within that, everything from grants to combined first mortgage and DPA programs, second mortgages that can have different features with them. There's also mortgage credit certificates that provide annual tax credits for the life of the loan for the borrower. And for even first mortgage loans, so these would be below market interest rate loans, could be 100% financing. And then we also track other additional programs that might even include employer assisted programs. So that's just an overview of a little bit of the types of the programs we track. We do have another webinar. We'll send you an invitation for this for next month that really gets into exactly how all these programs work. So if that's something you're interested, just be on the lookout for that and you can register for that. And again, this is from our latest index. This is just a snapshot of the states, the 10 states that have the most down payment assistance programs there. Now, this is just the top 10. What I really want you to take away from this is that there is down payment help available in every market and every state. So again, these are just the top 10, so you can get a little bit of sense of range of numbers of programs. And currently, this is just new update information. We have about 81% of those programs currently have funds available for buyers today, even in today's market and everything that's going on. You can see our latest snapshot that we did a few months ago was a little bit higher, but there's still a lot of programs that have funds available for buyers today. So speaking of today's market, I also just wanted to highlight what we're seeing at Down Payment Resource as far as current trends in down payment assistance programs. So you should know that we track and update these programs monthly and also in real time, especially with the market being so fluid. We update, the updates that we make in our database include program guidelines, qualifying criteria. We update website links, agency contacts, income limits, price limits, DPA amounts. So essentially you'll have access, you're able to see an overview of any particular program and the latest details available for those programs. So obviously right now we're doing even more updating our database to reflect this current environment. So again, here are just some of the general trends that we're seeing. First, you should know that all state housing finance agencies are open. They're accepting reservations. They're doing all of that virtually. Also, state and local programs are still widely available. Again, the market's very fluid, and we are seeing some products, some pricing options suspended. Homebuyer education is being done online. There was already a trend in that direction, so you're just seeing that ramped up. So there's a lot of opportunity in terms of getting homebuyer education online and getting that taken care of, something that your buyers can do. We're seeing HFAs quickly reacting to other GSE guidance and what they're seeing in the market. And again, we're updating as we hear directly from them. And we're even seeing some of the DPA providers that are hosting video calls to touch base with their participating lenders and other partners. So they're really working hard to keep everyone up to date so that they know what to communicate to home buyers. And so bottom line, DPR is really an ever-changing database of down payment assistance programs and other types of home buyer programs. And we keep that updated for you. So yes, we're living right now in an interesting environment, but we see first-time homebuyers are still struggling with many of the same questions. They want to stop renting, but they really don't know what they can afford, and they most often don't know about down payment help. So in fact, before we were in this current crisis, here's a little bit about what homebuyers were saying. This is actually from a report that we worked on with the Urban Institute and Freddie Mac. It's called Barriers to Accessing Homeownership. It was done in 2018, but you can see some of the surveys that we did with buyers is you can see that it's some of what buyers were saying. So many buyers are mortgage ready, but they've self-selected themselves out of the market because they didn't think that they could qualify. So obviously you can see down payment is a barrier to homeownership. They think that they need 15% down or more. And they were saying they had little familiarity with low down payment programs and, let alone down payment assistance programs. So it was definitely an issue for home buyers. However, we are seeing some of this awareness and interest improve. In fact, this survey was done by clever.com. This is 2020, so I believe this was released in January, but this survey found that 31% of buyers now plan to use down payment assistance to buy their home. So as we're seeing this, a lot of buyers are really counting on down payment assistance to be part of their down payment solution. And we can probably expect that to increase. So how can you serve today's buyers? So it's definitely a confusing time in the market. And really, we believe education is more important now than ever. And I think that's really where you come in. So you really want to be a trusted advisor and provide information that is going to help your home buyers prepare for the future. When we are past this, buyers are going to want to work with people and companies who are there to serve, educate, and keep them informed during this crisis. And even more importantly, this is the type of information that they will tell their peers. All right, so right now we're seeing many home buyers sidelined and just waiting. So we know it's a challenging time on many fronts, and we also know that navigating the home buying process has really never been easy. And prospective buyers do have some problems that you can help address right now. So here are just the top issues that we hear from folks like yourself and others in the industry and from home buyers themselves. Here's some of the top issues that home buyers are looking for help with in this market. But really, when you look at this list, these are important issues in any market. And providing access to down payment assistance programs will be an important part of speeding that real estate recovery once we're past this. And we are here to help with that. We're here to help you with access to down payment assistance programs and that important information. So many of you probably found out about this webinar through your MLS. If your MLS provides or works with Downpayment Resource. That means that we're integrated right into your MLS. We identify eligible listings in your MLS. We match them to all available homebuyer assistance programs. And if your MLS is listed here, that also means you have free access to Down Payment Connect, and that is your own lead generation landing page. That's really what we're going to get into today. So just take a look at that list, and again, if your MLS is listed here, then that means that we currently integrated into your MLS. For anyone joining us who is a member of the California Association of Realtors, we do partner with them, and here are a couple of resources that you have as a CAR member. You can go to downpayment.car.org, and you can also direct your clients to a detailed search for down payment assistance programs at this other web address, finddownpayment.car.org. So definitely take a look at that if you are a member of CAR. So if your MLS was not mentioned, was not on the slide a couple of slides ago, we also have a monthly subscription option for agents. We also have a tool for loan officers, but we do have this tool available for on a subscription basis. And you can go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC to take a look at more information on that. We'll get into a little bit of that towards the end of the webinar. But if your MLS was listed, you already have this. Okay, so first, I want to show you how to find Down Payment Resource in your MLS. I know most of you, you have access to so many tools through your MLS, and you may not be leveraging all of them, including Down Payment Resource. So I want to show you how to jump in there and find your Down Payment Connect link. So first you're going to look for Down Payment Resource. You're going to want to look either in external links or under products. I have it just circled under external links. And again, this is just an example. This is a matrix integration, it's just an example. So your MLS may look different, but wherever you would find other products, just look for Down Payment Resource. And then you are going to find your link on this page. Once you click on Down Payment Resource, it's going to actually open to this page. So this is your Down Payment Resource dashboard, and the link circled in red is your Down Payment Connect landing page. It is waiting for you, and instead of saying staff agent right there, that's just our test page, it will have your name, and it's already there. There's nothing you need to do. You don't need to activate it in any way. Your link is right there ready for you to begin using today. And you can see we have a lot of other tools that you can explore, but again, we're really going to hit on Down Payment Connect and marketing resources during this webinar. But I do encourage you to explore the other tools available to you. So as I mentioned, we do have marketing resources. We'll show you some examples as we go through the webinar today, so you'll get to see what some of those look like. Those include graphics, a graphics library, different social media images, customizable flyers, videos, even a social media training video. So there is a lot available there, and you just click on that marketing resources tab to open that up. We also have a private Facebook group that I would encourage you to check out. I can preview over there when you request it, and we'll send this link out in the follow-up information that you'll receive. But it's a great place to share ideas, questions. Recently, we've seen agents jumping in there and showing examples of their Facebook ad campaigns and getting feedback from other members. So it's a really great group of folks, and it's really all about professionals who are interested in educating and working with first-time home buyers and other buyers who are using down payment assistance. And speaking of our Facebook page, I actually met both of these agents through our Facebook page. And if you're here, you can probably relate to these down payment resource power users, if you will. They are really both aiming to serve their own communities well. In Amber's case, she's a millennial and was has younger friends who were looking at buying their first home, and she just saw that many of them thought that they needed a really large down payment. So this was a way for her to help educate them and show them that they didn't need 20% down. And Raul, he's based in Austin, and he's a veteran himself and kind of went through a not so great process of buying his own home and realized there's so many resources that veterans were overlooking. And so his mission is really to help educate other veterans and help them navigate that process. And they both use Downpayment Resource as part of that process so that they are elevating those down payment assistance opportunities to their buyers. Okay, so I am actually going to show you how, I'll show you the customer experience, what your buyer would experience with your Down Payment Connect link. This is actually Amber's link that I am going to show you live, and how a buyer would search. So this is really what her link looks like. And you can see a buyer is invited to either enter a specific street address or a general search. Most folks will do a general search because typically they're kind of early in their journey here and they don't have a specific house that they're looking for yet. So I've just pre-populated Orlando here and an estimated sales price. And as I enter information, you can see over here, this get details will change. So I'm gonna say, okay, there's 4 people in the family, never owned a home. And again, these are questions that really help pinpoint what opportunities might be available. So you can see as I entered the income, that number of programs went down. But say somebody in the home's a veteran, sometimes that opens more opportunities. You can actually click here. And if the buyer is in education, you see it added a program. There are some great programs that really target these community heroes, obviously including healthcare, which is one of we're really focusing a lot on that right now. But if, ask your buyer if they're in any of these professions. So that may open up more doors to homeownership. So you can see there's a few other additional questions you can, that the buyer can answer. The more information they enter, the more precise those results will be relative to their situation. So when they're ready, they can hit get details, and you can see it's going to show that buyer, hey, you might be eligible for 16 programs and up to $15,000 in down payment help. And it's not going to give them all the details right now, but it is going to name you throughout. Once they enter the contact information and hit get program details, they will receive an email with those highlights, and you will get an email lead. So I'm going to hop back in my PowerPoint and show you how all that works. And this question right here, I'm currently working with a real estate agent. That's just for you to know. We don't do anything with that lead. These are your email leads. That's just for you to know if there's any reciprocity issues to manage on your end. Okay, so I am going to hop back into all right. Can you guys still see my Shauna Fern? Let me know if you're not seeing my PowerPoint, but I think it's going okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so I showed you a little bit of this already. So we've got to this stage. The buyer is going to see a thank you screen. This is a sample email of what your home buyer will receive. You see the buyer is going to get reminded of you and your business again. They're going to get reminded of what they searched for. It's going to have your contact information. And then it's going to give just highlights of the names of the programs and what that assistance amount could be. So, and it'll be categorized. This email is much longer than just this, but just wanted to give you a snapshot of what it looks like. But that's essentially what your buyer will get, and they'll be directed to contact you. Now, this is what you get. So you're going to get, this will be your email lead. This will be your new prospect. You can enter this into your CRM. You can enter these folks into any kind of direct marketing campaign. You can reach out to them directly with more information about these programs. But you'll see that you're going to get a lot more detail. You'll see that the name of the program is hyperlinked, and I'll show you an example of the type of detail that you'll receive. So, excuse me, you'll have access to not just the benefit amount, but also links to the participating lenders. These are lenders who work with that housing finance agency who are approved to do this program, so that it'll link you to those contacts. It will include education providers and details there. It could link to program guide or flyer, website, program provider name, all of those details you will have available. So that is your, and again, that is your lead. That becomes your email lead. So that is the process. Now we are going to take a look at examples of how other agents are using Down Payment Connect, using that Down Payment Connect link and using content about down payment assistance to reach more home buyers. So this first example, you'll see this is one of our graphics that Brian used, and it links to his Down Payment Connect search page. And I like this because it's really, the positioning of this is it's pretty high up on his website. It's really above the fold, if you will. And it's among one of the first things that a buyer would see. So it really shows that he's focused on that market segment. This is an example of an agent who is iframing her search page. So you'll see that the Down Payment Connect page is really embedded in her website. And this is great. This is a great option to consider because it keeps that buyer still on your website. You can see all of her other navigation points and contact information. Everything is still around that page. And it keeps the buyer on that page and still allows them to search. So that's a great way. Susan told us that she loves using Down Payment Connect. It's been a great way for her to help firefighters, EMTs, and other first responders in her particular market. And this just shows you how it can be mobile responsive. The tool will adjust to whatever size. So just wanted to show you an example of how it could look in a different format there. And again, buyer can do a search right there on the form and stay connected on her page. So this agent embedded the Down Payment Connect form into a new buyer's page on her website. So it takes up the whole part of the website, but there is a top line navigation that you'll see, if you can see my cursor, that you'll see right up here. It says Down Payment Assistance, and it's under Homebuyers. So this can be adding that top line navigation is again another way that you can show that this is really a market that you're aiming to serve. And just a reminder, Shauna and Fern are in the background. They can answer your questions, and we will take some of those live at the end here. This is an example of a loan officer. Loan officers also use our tool as well. This loan officer has it on his email signature. And again, this is just a really easy way to use one of our graphics. And you don't even have to use a graphic. You could hyperlink text if you want. But just to always have that available to someone who's reaching out to you or someone that you're communicating with. You never know when they might be ready to take that step. So that is something that we see a lot of agents doing, just adding that on your email signature with either a graphic or just hyperlinking text. Either way can be a great step. this is an example of a brokerage who wrote a blog post about down payment assistance. It's real short and simple, and it includes some different links to their Down Payment Connect page. You'll see they just use a link here. That might be something that you want to test using some graphics and some text links. So see what works better for your audience with that. And if you do have a blog, this topic is an excellent topic to add to your rotation of content and just blogs in general. Again, we know that buyers are interested in finding out more details about what's in their market. So there's just a lot of possibilities with blog content. If you are doing a blog, regularly include those keywords, include down payment help, include home ownership programs, home buyer programs, include different keywords like that buyers may be searching for, and then also use your city. So, if you're in Austin, Texas, for example, just using, down payment help in Austin or something like that will help you further localize that. You may even want to feature a specific program, do some kind of series like that. You could interview someone. And I know some agents contribute to local publications, and if that's something that you're doing right now as well, that having content about down payment assistance and the fact that it's available and what questions to ask, anything like that, it's a great conversation starter and something that will really position you as someone who's knowledgeable and helping first-time home buyers. Okay, I'm going to actually show you this one live. This is a great example from Richmond Region Realty. I really like that one. Oops, sorry guys. Okay, so this is what this page, they have their own down payment assistance page, and you can see that they did their own branded video. This is a great idea. There's so many easy ways to create video content today. Stick your logo on that. You can promote it in so many ways, and then also just drop it right on an education page. So this is a great example, again, of that long form education, and this can be really helpful for a buyer who doesn't really know what you're talking about when you're talking about down payment assistance and really wants more information before they may commit to searching for that information. So you'll see they highlight, who might qualify for down payment assistance, what kind of criteria is there for the home buyer. They're using our graphics throughout. Those graphics, again, are going to link right to their Down Payment Connect search page. So there's multiple options as a buyer's going through this content and understanding what might be available. There are multiple options for the buyer to then search for down payment assistance programs. So it's just really well done. In fact, the folks at Richmond Region Realty have had some great success with this page. They were even highlighted in the news a few years ago about their success with this educational page and also pairing it with Facebook ads. So it's a great example. All right, I'm going to show you a few more in here. Sorry, hold on, guys. Let me get you to the right place. Okay, so that was Richmond Region Realty. This is a great all-around example from the Austin market. This is actually Raul's company, who we showed his quote earlier here, but he has a great little checklist for home buyers, and it goes through different steps. And what we really like about this is step one is all about finding down payment help. And it, again, links right to his Down Payment Connect search page. So some of them have videos, some he's used graphics, but it's a great checklist for buyers and walks them through that step. And, we think having that conversation about down payment assistance should really be part of every first conversation that a buyer has with their agent or lender, just like you would talking about getting pre-approved or pre-qualified. So we really like how Ready Front Real Estate connects those dots for the buyer. And again, Raul, before the name of his company is now Ready Front Real Estate, but this was a campaign he did a few years ago with ATX Realty. And I want to show you this example because it's a great example for a Facebook campaign. What he did was he did a 10-week campaign. So every week he answered a different question, different first-time homebuyer question. So he had a built-in rhythm of a campaign. He highlighted 10 of those top 10 questions that homebuyers would be asking. And one of those questions was about how to find down payment assistance and what would be the best approach for doing that. So he recorded a very short video that where he answers the question, and then he has a link. This link right here goes straight to his Down Payment Connect page. So this is a great example of providing some education, providing some value in that way, and then inviting the buyer to take the next step. And also, as you probably know, Facebook does reward video content. So anything that you can do with video is a great step in boosting the engagement on your page. All right, another example on Facebook, Minnesota-based Barker Hedges Group, they launched an entire Facebook page dedicated to serving first-time homebuyers. They have multiple explainer videos. They answer questions about saving for a down payment and down payment assistance. And what I love about this is they also highlight local program examples. And everything's directed back to their Minnesota first-time homebuyer website where the buyer can search for programs. So this is something to consider too. If you have a particular niche that you want to reach out to, if you are wanting to grow this business, you can see that instead of just using their Barker Hedges as a Facebook page, they use something that more qualified that audience. So calling it Minnesota First Time Homebuyer and highlighting the page that way. And you can also see that they've highlighted in their post, example of a real buyer that they helped and an example of the type of help that they got, the amount that they got. So just a note on case studies, I think just ask your buyers how much information they'd be willing to share about their process, because buyers do have a lot of questions about the process, and they especially have questions about, hey, how did you get down payment assistance? How did that whole process work? And they want to know, they want to hear those success stories that help show what's possible for them as they take their next step in their goal towards home ownership. So ask your happy clients if they wouldn't mind sharing a little bit more about their story instead of just getting a picture of you with them at the closing table. Do a little mini interview and really share more about their story if they're willing to do that. I think you'd be surprised how many folks, when they feel taken care of, are excited to share that story. Again, this is on Barker Hedges page, or that Minnesota First Time Homebuyer page. I love the way they did these videos. So they have very short videos, very short educational videos on their Facebook page. This one talks about how to find a lender that offers down payment assistance. And that is a major question for buyers, and they are taking the time to very quickly answer how that works and then direct them to search for programs, direct them to call them with more information. But I love, if you can look on the up next on the right, you can see just how short all their videos are. They're very short, they answer a very particular question, and they really get right to it. So I love how they've done that. Another idea for you here is partner with your referral partners. If you're an agent, ask your lender partners if they could record a video, and then you guys can both promote this or cross promote that, tag each other in the post. So anything that you can do with your referral partners is a great step. Okay, I like this example too. I'm going to show you this live because I think it comes across a little better live. All right, hold on one second, guys. Okay, so this is example in Seattle. Sorry for the scrolling. I'm going to go up to the top here. So this is again another one that's a little bit more of a long form educational format with different opportunities to link. And you can see right here he's using our graphic, but he's using his own image. So you're not limited to the graphics that we provide. They're a great place to start and the launching place, but if you have other images or want to co-brand things, you are also welcome to do this. But this is under his advice for buyers page, so I think this is great. It really highlights the criteria for down payment assistance programs, and then you can see his link is just embedded right at the end, so the buyer can search. So it's kept right there within that long form educational page. So that is another really good example. Okay, this is a really creative one from an agent in Indianapolis. She actually created a landing page for consumers to get to before they get to her form. So the really cool thing about this is when a buyer lands on this page, they're invited to find out if they could, as you can see, her call to action here is click here to see if you qualify. But first, to get to that form, they have to enter, they have to enter their name and email. The great thing about this is Marilyn here is capturing 100% of the names and emails who go to her form. So instead of only capturing names and emails of folks who completed an entire search and want to get those detailed results, she's capturing names and emails of folks who are even just interested in exploring that. So it provides a really neat way for her to follow up. Maybe she follows up with someone who doesn't complete the search and redirects them back to the search page. So there's lots of things you can do in terms of marketing and drip marketing campaigns when you have it set up this way. And we just thought it was a really cool example. And she actually uses Facebook ads, which I'll show you here in a second, to drive to this page. And she told us this it's worked for her better than any other lead generation tool. So here's an example of an ad. You can see she's using her own image. And the image, what I think is cool here is you'll see the same image. Go back here. Look, it's the same image. So it lets someone know, okay, I want to learn more. I'm in the right place when they click on that. So that I just thought that was very thoughtfully done. And it's a really simple Facebook post that she boosted. And she really got some great results with that, with this particular campaign. And this is what Marilyn had to say. She really saw this as a way to maximize the Down Payment Connect link. She was already getting Down Payment Connect as part of her MLS membership, and then she just really took it to the next level. And she told us it's even been more successful than when she did Zillow leads in the past. And these are leads that are really responding and interested. So again, in talking to buyers about down payment help and helping them explore those opportunities is such a great conversation starter. I want to show you some Instagram examples as well. We do have Instagram images like this one, and you can use localized hashtags to reach more people as well, and you can add the link to your page in your bio if you'd like. So you do have that link in your bio. You can drop your Down Payment Connect link right in there and highlight down payment assistance that way. But you can see they have a lot of localized, they have different Florida related hashtags. You could take that even more localized. You can do your particular community. A lot of communities are doing localized Instagram hashtags. So start following those localized hashtags and then start using those hashtags that you're seeing folks follow in your own posts to get even more exposure. Here's another example of an Instagram post. And I know we talked just a second about the link in bio. I wanted to share one other tool with you that is completely free that you might want to use if you're not already, and it's just called Linktree. It is, again, a free Instagram tool. There's some other tools that do this too. I have some experience with Linktree, so that's why I'm sharing that, but you know, if you find another one, that's great. But this essentially what it does is it allows you to use that one opportunity for someone to go to a link. So Instagram only gives you one place to link someone to, and the Linktree allows you to really maximize that. You can add, I can't remember the limit, but you can definitely even add more than 4. But Kiana has 4 calls to action, as you can see in this popover. So someone goes and clicks here on her Instagram page, it pops over to this. They can go visit her website. They can find out if they might qualify for down payment assistance. They can find out what their home's worth, or they can find out about lease to own with her. So she's had this on here for a while. In fact, this is the primary place that she does use her Down Payment Connect link. And she was telling me recently, actually during the month of February of this year, so February 2020, she got over 80 visits to her, just from her Instagram page. She had 8 completed searches as a result of that. So she really likes how it's performing on Instagram in particular. And here's just a little sampling of some of those images that you can see in the marketing resources. Okay, and we are about to open up to questions. I'm gonna leave you with a few other recommendations. And again, then we'll open it up for questions. If you do have questions, go ahead and get those in the Q&A for Shauna and Fern to look at. But really, I just wanted to share that in my role at DPR, I do speak with agents across the country regularly, and it's really interesting to learn how they're using our tools and working with new home buyers. So I just wanted to share this quick list of some great ways you can use our tools at DPR to start more conversations that lead to home ownership. So first, that adding that email signature, it's a really easy add, keeps it always front and center. Second, if one of your listings is eligible, market that listing with the program information that home qualifies for. So, you know, when we're back to having open houses again, for example, you can leave that out at the open house. You could use some of our flyers to do that. You could even just print out program information, the actual program flyers, and include that there. Those are some really great ideas. And we've seen agents, even in their listings, highlight that in just the property listing itself, that this home is eligible for a certain number of down payment assistance programs. Third, Facebook ads. We showed you some examples of those today, of different content campaigns and also different ads. Facebook ads are great because they allow you to target that specific hyper-local market, and they give you great reports on the number of clicks, views, etc., all of that. And it's also a place that you can start testing your content even in that place too. You know, spend a little money boosting some posts and see how that performs. Fourth, we talked about Instagram profile link. We just went over those details there, but that can be a great addition to your marketing plan. Fifth, educational content is a great plus. Right now, more than ever, buyers are doing research in advance, even though they know that they will most likely use an agent. So use those keywords like down payment help and your city name, and really start focusing content that will help those new buyers in your market. 6, add a first-time homebuyer section to your site. This could really be a great addition to house all that content. You can have checklist, you can have your Down Payment Connect search page, you can feature certain programs, you could have blog content or other downloadables, and really use that section to speak to the audience that you want to reach. 7, explainer videos. So those videos that help answer some top questions or explain how something works, post those on your website and social media in both places. Just, you know, maximize whatever you create and put it in more than one place. we know everyone is busy these days, and those videos make it so much easier to take in the information. And there are so many ways to record and easily edit today that it can be a great thing to test. 8, consider hosting virtual homebuyer events. You could even co-host these with your referral partners. You know, I've mentioned that we're seeing homebuyer education move to being all, 100% offered virtually. Well, the same could be true for these homebuyer events. So see if you have some other partners, maybe someone that you know at a state or local housing finance agency, maybe a home ownership counselor, maybe a lender partner. Get that group together and work together to host something virtually in lieu of doing a traditional first-time homebuyer event. And then 9, those drip marketing campaigns. Don't forget to reach back out to your target audience through those ongoing marketing campaigns. Some of these buyers may not be ready, but by sending valuable information and connecting them with other homebuyer education and resources that can help, you will definitely be top of mind when they are ready to move forward. Okay, and finally, please leverage the experts that are available to you. We hear from agents all the time, I just don't want to be an expert in down payment assistance programs. I'm not a finance expert. And the great news here is that you don't have to be. You want to lean on your HFAs in your market and other program providers and those participating lenders. Develop relationships with those participating lenders, and they will be the expert for you. So a few tips on that. So first, finding participating lenders for each program. You're going to find that in the program details section. So anytime you're looking at the program details, we provide a link to the list of participating lenders. So these are not our lenders, these are just lenders who participate in that program and have been approved by the agency to do that program. And also ask the lenders that you're currently working with, just shoot them off a quick email today and just ask, hey, I'm working with more buyers who are interested in this information. Can you send me the list of programs that you are eligible to work with? So you can still use your current partners, but you might want to expand that to include other participating lenders. Also, connect with your state and local HFA, nonprofit, employers. See if they have any resources for real estate agents and what classes they may offer. They likely have resources to offer you. On any of your website content, blog, or social media, take the opportunity to highlight information about local programs. That's a great place to use those keywords that we talked about. You could feature a program a week or interview somebody from the agency or anything like that. Agencies love when others in the industry are helping get the word out about their program. So that could be a great step forward for you. And then finally, consider taking a first-time homebuyer class or one of the online homebuyer classes just to get content ideas for first-time homebuyers. See what's being covered, what are those top questions that those courses are answering, and what buyers are interested in right now. So that's a great place to get other content ideas. Okay, so as a reminder, these are the MLSs that Downpayment Resource currently partners with. If your MLS is listed on here, your link is waiting for you. You just need to find Downpayment Resource inside your MLS. We also have, we'll send you this link, but this short link down here is a link to a series of 4 videos that are under a minute each that will, I promise, you watch those 4 minutes later, you will know exactly how to find Downpayment Resource and find your Down Payment Connect link and do your first post. As I mentioned, if your MLS is not listed on here, but you want to learn more about what we offer, you can go to this website at the bottom of this slide here. We have tools for agents and loan officers that provide your own personal landing page. You can generate traffic and leads to your page. It offers those marketing tools and social media, and it's a no contract monthly subscription option for you. This is a little bit of what it looks like inside Down Payment Connect. Down Payment Connect, the paid subscriptions do allow you to customize your page a little bit in terms of adding your own logo or headshot or something at the top of the page. So there are some branding opportunities that you can add to your page. Okay, so I think we're ready to open it up for questions. So I am going to hop over in the Q&A and see if you've been keeping Sean and Fern busy over there. Sean and Fern, what questions do we have?
Yes, thanks, Tracy. A lot of great questions have been coming in today. One question that we are seeing a lot is, are DPAs only available to first-time home buyers?
That's a great question. No, DPAs, all DPAs are available to first-time home buyers, but not all of them have what's called a first-time home buyer requirement. In fact, there's a large portion of them. I think I'm not looking at the latest homeownership program index, but I believe about 41% of them do not have a first-time home buyer requirement. Sean, do you recall if that's the number or if that sounds about right?
Yeah, that's about right. I mean, between a third and a half, and it changes all the time, but there are so many programs out there that either waive the first-time homebuyer requirement if you buy in a targeted area or have a military background or maybe work in a hero or first responder profession. And then there are plenty of programs that just simply don't have a first-time homebuyer requirement. And also remember, a first-time homebuyer is someone who hasn't owned in the last 3 years.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. Yes, we talk a lot about reaching first-time homebuyers because this is something that a lot of first-time homebuyers consider. They are looking for often a mortgage that offers some kind of low down payment, but they may not know that there's in fact even down payment assistance that can help. But yes, these programs typically follow HUD's definition of a first-time home buyer, and that just means somebody who hasn't owned a home in the past 3 years. So there could be somebody who owned prior, they've been renting. If they've been renting for 3 years, guess what? They're a first-time home buyer again. So thanks, Sean. That's an important note. But there are lots of options. And then I'll also make one note that on employer-assisted housing programs often waive that both the income and first-time homebuyer requirement. They will often waive those. So that's something that you can, if you have any major employers in your market, certainly find out what options that they offer their employees.
Great. Thank you, Tracy and Sean. There is another question that has come up a couple of times. And that question is, do homebuyers need to work only with the lenders they find directly through the program page, or can they work with other lenders and still use the program?
They would need, well, it's just going to depend on the program. I mean, some programs have worked with many lenders, and I believe, Sean, some of the programs have more flexibility on that participating lender piece, but we do track all of the actual participating lenders. That's why it's such a great idea to investigate down payment assistance on the front end first, so that you can determine what program may be a really good fit for this buyer and have them start exploring those options with a lender who actually participates in that program. Sean, anything else on that you would say?
Yeah, well, I'll clarify. What we track are links to the information that each program provider publishes about their lender partners. Often that's a list of who they are. Sometimes it's a list of the companies. Sometimes it's a list of individual originators. So we don't necessarily have a list of loan officers, but if that's what's published on the program provider's website, then that's what we're linking you to. It's worth, first of all, talk to your loan officer partners, because they'll tell you what they participate in or what they have access to. And you can always look at your state housing finance agency website. That's a great place to start to find the names of the companies that participate in a lot of down payment programs. And then not every lender participates in the same programs as another lender. So, talk to 2 or 3 loan officer partners and see what the universe of down payment programs is that you have access to through your loan officer partners.
I saw some credit score questions in here, Fern, and it looks like you got back to them on that. But we see most of them do require at least a 620. And that's definitely something to take a look at because, again, with the reaction to what's going on in the market, we are seeing some changes with that.